I just heard a big noise very close to here.
This is Amateur Survival. I'm Darin Cardin. I'm a novice survivalist going on a 2-night simulated survival trip. This time I'm at Yellowstone National Park. I'll be testing out survival techniques I've seen on TV and the internet. I'm gonna put these techniques to the test and see if a normal person with no formal training can use them successfully. Founded in 1872, Yellowstone hosts 3 million tourists a year. Yellowstone is 3,500 square miles. It's located in the northwestern U.S. and sits in the states of Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. I'll be heading to Lamar Valley in the northeastern edge of Yellowstone. This valley extends for roughly 30 miles and is the least populated area of the park. Yellowstone contains half of the world's geysers. Most of the park sits on top of a dormant volcano, which heats the underground water and is the reason for the hydrothermal activity. There are hundreds of thermal springs, geysers, and pools of water that boil perpetually. I've never seen anything like this. Valleys that extend as far as the eye can see. Lakes, mountains, waterfalls. I'll be spending 2 nights in Lamar Valley on the northeastern edge of the park. This area boasts the largest concentration of wildlife in the park. Deer, antelope, buffalo, moose, foxes, wolves, and bears. I'll be here for 2 nights with no food, no water, and minimal supplies.
Let me bring you up to speed on where we are. This is Lamar Valley in Yellowstone National Park. Very, very heavy population of bison here. They're all over the place. In fact, all these brown things behind me, those are bison. Got a couple supplies here with me. First off, got a knife. Got a tin can. We've got some chewing gum and a battery. Supposedly you can make fire with a battery and a chewing gum wrapper. Now I tried this once before and it was a failure, but I'm gonna give it another shot. I've got a ferro rod, and it's actually my vacation, so to celebrate, I've got a can of soda.
This is all so new to me. Everywhere I look, I see bison. Hundreds of them. More people at this park are injured by bison than any other animal. The reason is that they don't fear humans. Carnivores like wolves run on sight, but these things don't show any fear of my presence. And even though they don't hunt, they can be aggressive when approached. They can weigh up to 1,000 pounds and can easily kill a human. In fact, bison are the largest animal in North America.
Right off the bat, as I have been walking down the trail, I've been seeing dandelions everywhere. Seem to be very common out here. Now I know these are edible, these grow all over the place. I've seen them in Massachusetts. Honestly, everywhere you go you see these things. They really don't taste too fantastic, but they're literally everywhere. So food is not really going to be a problem. The flowers are edible, and they have some leaves too. And the leaves are also edible. You can eat those too. Oh, check out this. So this is the hair of a buffalo. This will make fantastic tinder. And I was looking around for birch trees because that's my general go-to for tinder, but I don't see any birch trees. Maybe they don't grow out here, I don't know, but I'm sure this would work. So I'm going to take this with me.
I want to start a camp before nightfall. The problem is, I'm not sure how much time is left. There's a simple way to determine the daylight available.
I don't know what time it is right now, but one trick you can do, I actually saw this on TV a couple months ago, is you can look at the sun and see how many hand widths there are between the sun and the horizon, with each hand width equaling 1 hour, roughly 1 hour. So in this case, we've got about 2 hours left before the sun sets. So I can travel for about another hour, then I've got to start talking about a fire. Alright, we've hit the tree line, and that's good because now we can talk about making a fire. Like when you're out in the valley and it's windy like that, no way. So we've got the buffalo fur, and we've also got some dried grass that I found nearby. We're going to use the ferro rod. Now, I've actually never used this before. I've never tried this before in my life. I mean, it should be pretty easy, considering this is what it's supposed to do.
Scraping metal against the ferro rod releases a spark that can reach 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It catches tinder easily, as long as it's dry. It's rained several times today, and the buffalo fur still has some moisture in it.
I just heard a big noise very close to here.
Several years ago, a grizzly bear in Yellowstone went on somewhat of a rampage. It started attacking campers while they slept. One person was killed.
It's early in the morning, maybe about 5 o'clock, and that's when the predators are most active, right in this early morning period. The fire went out too. I'm going to try to, there may be a couple embers left, maybe I can get the fire going.
Just because a fire looks like it's out, doesn't mean that it is. Even if you don't see smoke, you may still be able to salvage it. Below the ash, you can sometimes find embers. By applying oxygen to these embers, you can coax them back into flame.
That's how it's done. Alright, I'm gonna head out in like 2 seconds. I'm not gonna be sleeping at this campsite again tonight. The ground just was not level enough. I'm going to drink my soda right now. I've been seeing animal droppings all over the place, and I want to know if it's a wolf or not. I remember one show. Basically, all the guy does is he checks to see if there's fur in the droppings, and if there are, then it's a carnivore. It's a predator, and They look like hairs to me. So this is. I mean, I can't identify the animal. Is it a wolf? Is it a coyote? I can't say, but it's definitely a carnivore.
By now I've gone 24 hours eating nothing but dandelions. You can survive well over a week without food, so starvation will never enter the picture. However, in combination with hiking, carrying stuff, starting fires, you do start to feel it. Your energy level will not be normal. Being close to the river gives me access to water at all times. Plus, I found a big spruce tree to camp under.
It just started raining, but I'll tell you, this spruce tree, it's almost like being in a tent.
Spruce trees offer good protection from the rain because the branches funnel water away from the trunk. They have a triangular shape, just like a Christmas tree.
Most of the rain isn't even getting to me.
The camp location is selected. Now I'm gonna try for a fire.
Alright, we're gonna try the gum wrapper and battery trick. So we've got some metallic gum wrapper here, and we have a battery. So the idea is you touch these two together, and this is gonna get shorted out, and it's gonna actually catch on fire.
This technique does work, but it's trickier than it looks. When current passes through the wrapper, heat is generated. The thinner the path is, the more concentrated the heat will be. I was not successful at this attempt, but I have done this before. The key is to make a rip that goes clear across the wrapper. This rip is critical. You need the current funneling through a very small point. In this case, I may have not ripped it enough. However, it can still be salvaged. If you move the wrapper just a little bit, you can extend the tear. Once this rip exceeds a certain point, the heat will reach the correct threshold, and you have fire. Since the gum wrapper failed, I'll try the ferro rod again. The grass by itself is too thick to catch a spark. You need to crush it up to the point that it looks kind of like cotton. It needs to be very fluffy.
I am wicked tired. I don't know why. I didn't have any water all day, except for just now. Well, since I started the hike, I had no water until just now. We got the fire going. I just want to keep the animals away. You got buffalo walking around here, and I don't want them to, stumble over me tonight. Never mind the bears. So hopefully this will be good.
As I head down the trail, the herd is moved in such a way that half is on one side of the trail and half is on the other. As I go forward, several buffalo come very close to the trail, cutting me off. Right now I'm surrounded by buffalo.
We've got a couple buffalo on the trail. What I'm worried about is, what if they took off towards me?
There's one small path that I can use to get past them, but it means coming within roughly 40 feet of the things. It's not a safe distance at all.
I do have the bear spray. I could probably turn one of them, but if they wanted to kill me right now, there's nothing stopping them.
There was enough room for me to slide out of the pocket. Not having access to clean water makes a big difference. Going without food is one thing, but going a whole day with nothing to drink takes a toll. The hike out has been a struggle, with frequent stops. That did contribute to me getting stuck in that buffalo herd. If I wasn't so eager to get out, the safest thing to do would have been to wait. For all the talk of wolves and bears in this area, I didn't see one. And they must have known I was there. When you think about a bear's sense of smell, and the fact that I had a campfire, they must have known. They just don't mess with humans. Yellowstone is completely unique. There's no other place on Earth that contains the combination of wilderness and geothermal activity. I was lucky to get the chance to visit this place.
We reached the road. Oh my god. That was a vicious hike. I'll tell you what, I'm glad to be out of here.